as of right now, we are in the part of town in Manila that is called Intramuros. Like 15-20 minute walk to get here. This is, as I said, one of the reasons why I was staying in that area in the first place. And basically you could say this is the old part of Manila. Like many parts are hundreds of years old from the colonial times when the Philippines have been colonized by the Spanish. And I think for most people watching this right now, a lot of Filipinos are very aware of that. And this is for me like one of the things that I find, let's say, unique and very much, yeah, we're gonna let this one pass. That I find, let's say, more interesting about the Philippines than maybe other places is the fact that it has been colonized by the Spanish. So there's a lot of influences that you see in almost everything that is happening here. Cuisine, certain mannerisms, their language. And with that also it's very unique and very different than any other Southeast Asian country. So this is kind of like a very old historical part. I haven't seen much yet. Right behind me there is a church and we're going to be heading to Fort Santiago, which is supposed to be kind of like one of the main spots. So it's going to be dark soon. I should hurry up. And yeah, it is definitely quite interesting. It's really the moment that you pass through the gates into Intramuros, the city completely changes. So as far as I read into it, they basically preserved it the way that it was, kept it in place. So basically the way also how it looks behind me is pretty much representative of the rest of it. So walked out of here and I'm really excited for how Fort Santiago is gonna be. Okay, so here we are right now in the Fort Santiago. The entrance is 75p, so there's like a little over the euro, like $1.50. And what really cool is they give you a little ticket, and on this ticket it says Fort Santiago, a 16th century military defense structure, stands witness to the valor and heroism of the Filipino through the centuries. I googled it up, and this structure has been built more than 400 years ago, and you also see it and there's a lot of history here. Like for example behind me, so ruins of the American barracks. Elpidio Corino, second president of the Third Republic of the Philippines, was incarcerated in this building as a prisoner of the Japanese Imperial Army for 16 days during Second World War. So that was a prison? Prison?
No, this is American barracks. American barracks.
Oh, it said something about incarceration.
Restoration.
In incarceration, that like the second president of the Philippines was like held captive here or something. That's what it said. Okay, well maybe it's not a prison, but so right now we are by the main, you could say, site, the Fort Santiago. So it's basically this path through, and what I think is really cool about this park and overall completely Intramuros, all of it, there's basically signs, and there it says what happened here during what time, and basically it goes through all of the colonial history, the Japanese occupation, American, Spanish, so everything between like 1500 up until the 1950s pretty much is all in here, which is very interesting. Whew, and for me, right now the time in Manila that I spent is actually just to slow down a little bit from the India trip, catch up a little bit on work, but really the cool thing is that living right next to it. Okay, it is slowly getting dark. I made my way through the Fort Santiago, and you know the thing is, in the Philippines, if you meet a class of young Filipinos, it might turn out into a wild shootout of selfies.
Group. Guys. Oh my God. Wait! Saan pa kami titingin? Dito lang tayo maganda.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. So much energy and excitement, but I guess, yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so with that, a very eventful day is about to be over. I think I will still stroll a little bit through Intramuros, gonna show you a few of the shots. There's been this very big church that I have been passing by, and for me, really cool day. I like the balance of it in terms of getting some stuff done, exploring a little bit of the culture, a little bit of the history, connecting with the people a little bit. I will be another, 2 days in Manila.
So guys, what you just watched, this short little clip, is one of hundreds of travel videos that I have shot in the past 3 years, traveling the world at this point close to 50 countries, but it's not just about traveling, sightseeing, sick places, nice accommodations. It's a little bit more about, I call it building freedom. That's what Got a World to See stands for. Living in different countries, creating a life that you can wake up in the morning and be excited about. So the little piece that you saw here, this is my highlight clip channel. So if you don't know what I'm up to, check out my main channel, Danny Got a World to See. I will link the specific video that you have just watched in the description. So whatever you do, subscribe on Danny Got a World to See. You can also join me on my Instagram where I share a little bit behind the scenes, current updates. Sometimes people ask me, hey Danny, are you still in the Philippines? Are you still in Albania? Are you still in Hong Kong? And sometimes the video is already years old, and these highlight clips, they're all taken from the past 2-3 years. And so I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the full episode below, and we're gonna see each other very soon.